Well, and there's so much existential angst right now, and I'm not going to turn you into an expert on chat GPT or generative AI, but there is this sense of fear right now. And I don't know if you noticed any shift during the pandemic, or if you have any thoughts about this next generation of musicians. Or
well, let me tell you what happened, because like your sister, when the pandemic came, music became dumb. Right, there was no music, and with the grown-up orchestra, we managed to do something very important. We managed to collect enough money from supporters to pay the players, even though they weren't playing, and that was essential for some of them, to pay their mortgages.
Zoom orchestras and all, it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work. So what we found with those players, these are grown-up professionals, when they came back to play, there was a gratitude in their bow arm that I'd never seen before. They were so grateful to be part of this orchestra that had taken care of them when they weren't able to play. So that was the grown-up orchestra. The youth orchestra, you can't do that with the youth orchestra because they have to be there or at least have to be somewhere. So we did something very interesting, which is I turned them into conductors, because I said, we can't play. I mean, there have been attempts to play on Zoom, but it doesn't work.
Yes.
But I said, what we can do is we can study a score. We can find out what the composer was trying to say. We can talk about interpretation. We can talk about leadership. And so these musicians, young musicians, changed completely their attitude to playing. Instead of playing their part.
Was it being empowered that did it?
Aware. Empowered and aware, because when they came back to play, we studied Mahler's Symphony number 4, and when they came back, they knew it, of course, very well. And instead of looking at their parts, they were looking around, looking for
it's the for the world part you mentioned,
the
right?
Whole, they've become aware of the whole, and that's a transformation. Anything that has you look in a different way is a transformation. And for instance, in my house, I have a beautiful garden. And I spent more money during the COVID time on making that garden really beautiful, front and back. The back is so beautiful that I have a message in the front saying, more beauty in the back, please peek. And so people are constantly coming. So I have a lot of new friends and new attenders at the concert. But then we started a concert series in my driveway. It was called Safe and Sound. And people came from far and wide. It was the only music in Boston was in my driveway. So there's always a pathway to possibility. And what Beethoven has taught us, however much you suffer, however bleak and grim it is, there's always a pathway to joy and triumph.
Let me close off by putting the focus on you, which is for more than 50 years, you've been engaged, excited by this mission in life. Where does the joy come from right now? For you? From
everything, from talking to you, from being yesterday I was on a television program, the Classical Life, the interviewer was a student of mine 25 years ago. To see what
you must have a broad roster of former students at this point.
Thousands, and it's spreading out like ripples going out all over the world, and I'm having more fun now than I ever have. And 84 is good. I recommend the 80s. It's a good time.
Good.
Because you're looking...
I look forward to it.
Yeah. Because you're looking back at a life that has produced a lot of reaction, a lot of transformation, a lot of change in people's lives, a lot of clarification of what the real purpose of our life is, lots of friends, and... not too many responsibilities. The grandchildren have grown up.
They take you for dinner. And obviously the opportunity to be thinking differently about
and imagine
iconic...
coming. I mean, I can say that here. You know what it costs to bring the Boston Philharmonic and the Boston Philharmonic Chorus, the Chorus Pro Musica and the Marsh Chapel Choir, and all the people down from New York, from Boston to New York, to Carnegie Hall, hotels, $650,000. And the piece lasts for 65 minutes. I will explain at 1:30, 1:30, I will explain to the audience what's going on, some of what we've been talking about, more detailed, get people prepared. And then at 3:00, on Sunday, the 26th of February, in Carnegie Hall, which is the concert hall of the world. It may not be the best concert hall acoustically in the world, but it's Carnegie Hall, right? So we will be there with Beethoven saying, and I'm not saying this is the way it should be. I'm saying this is what I see now in the evolving journey that I've been on for 45 years. Come and listen, come and enjoy it.
Well, I hope to be there. It sounds like a wonderful experience.
Wonderful.
Ben Zander, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. What a pleasure it's been, and your eyes are still shining. And
They will be past this interview.
And I have
too.
one last thing to say about
Please.
the eyes. I look for shining eyes. I don't care about wealth and fame and power. My definition of success is how many shining eyes do I have around me. If I look at the orchestra, either one, either the children or the professionals, if the eyes are not shining, I say to myself, who am I being that the eyes of my players are not shining? And we can do that with our children, with our spouses, with our parents, with our colleagues, with our employees. It's a great question to ask. Who am I being that the eyes are not shining?
What can we do for the world?
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.